Hey, good evening, everyone. Everyone, good evening. And welcome to Chit Chat with Cherise 2.0. Why is it 2.0? Because this season of Chit Chat with Cherise has a co host. Again, welcome. We're still trying to set up. Forgive me for everything right now. My tiredness, my lack of excitement, my backdrop. Um, I'm tired. That's plain and simple. I'm just tired, and I'm actually sitting on my couch right now, my favorite place in my whole entire home. So again, thank you for tuning in to Chit Chat with Cherise. Again, I am your host, Cherise. And this is a platform of opinion and openness where we hope to strike conversation and curiosity in your point of view. And normally on Chit Chat with Cherise, I have my co host with me, who is Janine. And once again, she is late. And once again, I am not happy. And once again, um, but we're just going to keep going forward. Um, we ask that before we begin that all comments, questions, concerns be mature, be considerate, and be respectful. If you follow me, you know I have two platforms. I have Chit Chat with Sharice and I have Solid Saturdays, which air every Saturday at 8 a.m. This is not that platform. Chit Chat with Sharice airs the first of every month. However, I know this is the second. I wasn't able to do it yesterday because I had to do something for my job. And they literally waited till 4:55 to send me the information. So I couldn't get out of it. And all emails are timestamped, so I couldn't say, oh, well, I didn't get it. So because I work from 9 to 5 and they sent it at 4:55, I was still on the clock, so I couldn't play that one out. So I had to change tonight's setting to tonight. So thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in. Um, I have a great topic I want to discuss. I have a great topic I want. Sorry, that was me with technical difficulty because I forgot to do some stuff. Okay, sorry, doctor's appointment. Sorry. Oh, I told you it's a lot going on right now, and then I'm tired, but I want to go. We're going to still go through and have a good time, have a good conversation because when stuff get on my nerves and get under my skin, I need a place to vent. So thank God for Chit Chat with Cherise, and it's not going to always be me and Janine venting all the time. We really are going to have some good informative conversations like we did last month with breast cancer awareness, which was amazing. Um, this is going to be, I guess, somewhat informative. But it's definitely going to be something that you want to talk about or join in. So, before we even start, I feel like I gotta apologize for so much. Again, forgive me for my tiredness. Forgive me for my backdrop. Forgive me for changing the date. Forgive me, please, for still trying to figure out these notifications. Um, oh gosh, it's just so much to forgive me for right now on this day. I've been so focused on self, which is not a bad thing, but I just gotta take heed to what I need to do for me so I can have a bigger, better, greater future. Yeah, all right, we can leave it like that, I guess. I don't know. I'm tired. Uh yeah, okay, I think I'm happy with that. So I'm gonna wait a few minutes to see what happens with Janine. And if you don't mind, I'm just gonna tag a few people really, really quick just to see where everybody is. I don't believe I'm on here by myself, but I can't talk by myself, right? So, um, Let's go and hit up a few people. How was everybody's day? I'm doing all right. Well, I guess I gotta do announcements while I'm here, right? So, again, Solid Saturdays. If you don't know, Solid Saturday airs every Saturday at 8 a.m. It was a great platform of conversation, motivation, inspiration, encouragement, and strength. So please tune in for that. Every month she can't get in. Every freaking month she can't get in. Yes, I'm talking about my co-host because I just don't understand. So I'm just hitting up a few people. Now, excuse me, y'all, for 1 second. Okay, I'm back. So I had to go help my co-host. So hopefully she can log on. And hey, Mel. Oh, Mel, I hope you can stay on because I may need your input. So I'm waiting to see if she pops up while I do what I do. And yeah, so this is where we are. So I can tell you my topic and how we got here, right? So tonight's topic for Chit Chat with Cherise is toxic relationships. Can you guess what was my inspiration? Toxic relationships. That's what we're talking about today, right? So I'm gonna try to wait a few more seconds to see if she can log on because she's for the streets right now. She's she's coming. She'll get here though. That's one thing about it. She will log on. It'll be 7:59. She'll log on, but she's for the streets right now. She knows this was happening and she's for the streets. So, while I'm waiting for her, it was brought to my attention that November is also the month where it has been deemed for diabetes awareness, and I did not know that. So this is a first for me. So while I have a platform that allows me to have a voice, I feel like I need to bring attention to that, right? So men, please get checked, watch your diet, watch your weight, especially our African American brothers, because I don't know who's going to come on this platform. I don't know who's going to watch the replay. I don't know who's going to watch YouTube. So I'm stressing for the men. The men, please stay on top of your health, your blood pressure, your prostate, your whatever. Men, please take care of yourself. But November has been deemed Diabetes Awareness Month. So please go get your sugar checked, go and just be all right. Because if I hear one more death, I'm gonna be really, really mad. I'm gonna be mad. I'm gonna be mad at the death angel for real. Like I'm gonna be mad. But everybody, anybody, because women get it too. Women got to be cute about it and call it sugar, But but I know a lot of men. Someone just called me a few days ago telling me that they've been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. And I'm like, how? You're one of the most healthiest people I know. Sometimes it's not about your diet. Sometimes it's hereditary. So I need my men. I can't stress enough. My men folk, please stay on top of your health and get checked. Right? Last month we dealt with breast cancer. We dealt with domestic violence awareness. We also dealt with mental health awareness. This month we talk bringing awareness to diabetes. And also, this is the season of giving thanks, which is really, I guess it has to do with Thanksgiving and Christmas, but every day we should be grateful and giving thanks. But it's heightened this time of the year. So as we giving thanks, we also want to thank God for your health and still being here. So please go get checked. And I have no idea where this girl is. So, we're going to start because I'm only on for an hour and I need to take a nap. Yeah, I'm going to take a nap because I'm tired, right? So my topic for this evening is toxic relationships. And what was my inspiration? The Smiths. The Smiths. As in Will and Jada. Will and Jada. And disclaimer, let me put it out there. This can be, sensitive to some people. I don't know which way this conversation is going to go. And please, this is no jabs or disrespect to the Smiths. It's just that I just want to talk about it. Because I'm that person that sees stuff differently. I'm not a bandwagon person. I'm an overthinker. So I just see stuff differently. But toxic relationships, that's what we're talking about today. And for those of you who don't know, Jada Pinkett Smith just released a book titled Worthy. And I'm exaggerating, but for the first 12 chapters, she talks about her and Tupac. Okay, great, which wears me out. She did so much with Tupac, right? She did so much with Tupac. And then, but what got everybody talking was the fact that she stated that her and Will was separated for 6 years or 16. Was it 6 years or 16 years? Or something like that. Right? So, and the world responded, which was what she wanted. Right? Good publicity. She's getting ready to release a book. So now, everybody's going to buy the book because they want to know why they were separated. Well, not why they were separated, but why we didn't know they were separated. But did we really not know, though? And this is what I want to... Did we really not know? How can I ask such a question? Because as long as if you've been following the Smiths, like I follow the rest, because I personally love Will Smith and I personally love Jada Pinkett Smith since she came on the scene in a different world. They always said they had an open marriage. And I don't recall the constitution of marriage according to the state laws and the Bible for marriage to ever be open. So marriage is 1 + 1 actually equals 1. It doesn't equal 2. Marriage is 1 + 1 = 1. You bring yourself, I bring myself, we come together as one. And that's my math. That's my marriage math. 1 + 1 = 1. So were we really that, oh my God, when Jada made the announcement that they were separated for the last 6 years or so, whatever it was, that's my take on it, right? You know how many people got to give an appearance for the sake of who they are and what they represent? It's not just Hollywood. It's public. It's church. do it for the camera, do it for the kids, do it for. But anyway, so that was a big deal. She made that announcement, and the world got turned upside down. We forgot what was going on in Israel. We forgot about the missing children that we never found. We forgot about Flint, Michigan still needing clean water. We forgot about everything. We forgot about the charges against Trump. We forgot about everything because Jada made an announcement that Homegirl was separated, and she was shocked when they went to the Oscars because they weren't together at the time. They came together. They came to the Oscar not together, but they left together, or they came to the Oscars not married, but they left married. Whatever, right? I'm just repeating what's been said, right? So here's where we are, right? So a few days ago, somebody posted on social media about not Will and Jada. Okay, the scene from a different world, the favorite scene of Dwayne and Whitley. And along with Will and Jada, that marriage scene was labeled as toxic. So I was like, all right, so this word toxic is not being thrown around. So now I'm a little perturbed with it. I'm a little agitated with it. So I want to deal with it. I want to talk about it. So somebody posted on social media that the relationship between Dwayne and Whitley was toxic, and tore Dwayne down. Tore the character of Dwayne all the way down. He was this and he was that, and he was this and he was that. And I can say it. Now, I'm not saying it was wrong, but I will say it was very one-sided. But I saw her point. It was the whole concept of, I don't want to, but you can't have it either type of thing that was posted on social media. And I'm reading, and I'm just like, I see your point, right? I see your point. And normally I don't do the social media danger and social media fighting and all of that. I don't do that. I really don't. But I had to get in this one because I felt it was too, not that it was one-sided, because everybody has an opinion, but I felt it was too one-sided. Because if you know anything about marriage, or even an engagement, the woman has the final say. Okay, so yeah, a man can propose, but no wedding is taking place unless the woman says so. Unless the woman says, yes, I'll marry you. Right, and then there's still no guarantee because things can change at the altar, as we saw with the characters of Dwayne and Whitley. Right? So those of you who are coming on and who is watching, hello, good evening. Please say hi. I know that you're here. We're talking about toxic relationships. And so I responded to the post. I responded to the post. And I told the young lady, I said, that was a good analysis. That was a good concept. I definitely understand what you're saying. I said, I'm not debating or disagreeing with what you're saying. I said, but Whitley chose to leave Byron at the altar. Whitley chose the school teacher over the senator. It was Whitley's choice to get down and dirty and get in the struggle of bigger, better, greater, to build with Dwayne. So how does Dwayne get a bad rap? How is this such a toxic relationship? I didn't understand that. So that's where we're going with it. I want to know what makes a relationship toxic, right? So to get a better understanding of this word toxic, of course, you know me, I defined it, right? And the definition of toxic is poisonous, very harmful, unpleasant, right? And then there was a phrase that says being toxic is anyone whose behavior adds negativity and upsets your life. And then as I was glancing a little bit further, it says is capable of causing death. So this is where we are with the word toxic, right? It's capable of causing death. It's poisonous. It's harmful. It's unpleasant. It's anyone whose behavior adds negativity and upset to your life. Now, so who's on here with me? I think my cousin is on here with me, who's a wealth of wisdom. Oh, my third eye is on here watching with me. Bert, I need y'all. I need y'all to talk to me because I got questions, right? So, I guess my third eye. You my third eye, Bert. What really makes a relationship toxic? Is it the relationship? Because it ain't a relationship until the people come together. So I really don't think anybody's going to say it's the relationship. I think the audience is going to agree with me that the toxicity comes from the people who is trying to come together to make this relationship. Mel says, when we don't acknowledge what is obvious, whether good or bad. Let me put this up here. When we don't acknowledge what is obvious, whether good or bad, then time will make the unaddressed elephant in the room rage. Yes! So, because he's a wealth of knowledge. See, he's going to give you that intellectual conversation. I'm just going to say it's the people. Yeah. The people bring that elephant into the room. You want to ignore the red flags. You got to make a decision. And this is where we at with the characters of Dwayne and Whitley. Whitley made a decision to be with Dwayne, right? And then even going back to the Smiths. Now, see, this is something that I've learned about the Smiths. Before they go public with stuff, they already talked about it and dealt with it themselves. So when it does hit the fan, they are not caught off guard, except for the Oscar smackdown that took place. Nobody saw that coming. That wasn't scripted. They didn't discuss it at the house like, babe, Chris Rock is one of the presenters tonight, and when he gets up on the stage, he gonna say something about you, and I'm gonna go up there and punch him in the face. Nobody knew that was gonna happen. But when it comes to books and stuff of that nature, the Smiths talk about it. So now that all this information that Jada is putting out, they're okay with it. And we're the people is in an uproar about it. Name calling and bashing. But did y'all not hear this woman also say they're in a better place now? Did you also hear her not say that they got together, they was young, she didn't know who she was, he didn't know who he was, they was trying to make each other happy instead of making themselves happy? Will said that when he released his book. So they separated after being married. They separated to find themselves, to come back together, to have the marriage that they feel they both deserve. It's so again, it's just so weird from that aspect, from that couple, but that's Hollywood, that's celebrities. There's so much that go on with celebrities, it's not even funny anymore. So everybody's in uproar and calling her toxic and this, that, and the third, and blah, 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 blah. And now they're okay now. They done discussed all that has happened. They're healing. Up, there she go. Okay, right. I do not have a delay button, so if my co-host cuss, because she's mad because she's late, and she always have a hard time logging on. So everybody say hi to Janine. Everybody say hi to Janine.
Okay, I can't see you at all.
Lynn, can you hear me?
I can't see you. I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Okay, I can see you. I don't know why you can't hear me. Okay. So we talking about toxic relationships. Roberto just
Mhm.
wrote, I just don't understand the point of their staying married if they are separated, especially for that long. Okay, so Berta, my question, my flip to that was why get married and then have an open marriage? So all of this was happening, and we the people the only ones that are upset because for me, if you're in an open marriage, then you ain't married. I told you, marriage math is 1 plus 1 equals 1, not 1 plus 1 equals 1 and infinity means everybody else and it goes on and on and on and on. No, 1 plus 1 is 1. Everybody said hi, Ning.
Hey. Okay, I can't see. I can't see nothing. So
I
sorry.
don't know why you be in the worst place.
It don't matter if I'm home. I could be. It doesn't
You
matter
saw
where
it
I
the
am at this
last
point.
time, but you saw the comments. You saw the comments and stuff last month. Did you share it to your page, your screen?
Yeah.
All right, but we're just gonna go ahead. So I mentioned we're talking about Jada and Will, of course, and then we're
Mm,
also talking about the post that was posted about Dwayne and Whitley. So Jamel is on, Roberta's on. Jamel said these Hollywood relationships are nothing but another form of reality TV. Yeah, these actors
facts.
are
They
putting on a
are.
show while we take it as real. Yes, and Jamel, we're not getting paid for it. We're not getting paid for our opinions, our comments. We ain't getting no royalty checks. All we doing is going to buy that book. People is
Janine
going to
ain't
go.
buying that book.
I ain't say you. I said the folk. The folk is out there buying that book.
Well, let them
So
buy it.
we're dealing with toxic relationships. I gave the definition of toxic, which was poisonous, very harmful, unpleasant. And if you're being toxic, it's anyone whose behavior adds negativity and upset to your life.
Well, I
And
just talked about my dog. Daggone near half my family. Oh, okay.
and it's capable of causing death. So and I just really opened up the floor like what makes something toxic? What makes a relationship toxic? I don't think it's the relationship. I think it's the people that's coming together to create a relationship is what makes it toxic. Because if you ignoring your feelings and you're not having the conversations and you ignoring the red flags, that's what toxic is. Jamel made a comment and said, what makes it toxic is when we don't acknowledge what is obvious, whether good or
Mm.
bad, then time will make the unaddressed elephant in the room rage. And the rage is what causes the toxicity in the relationship.
But it doesn't have to just be a relationship between a man and a woman, or a woman and a woman, or a man and a man. It can be family, it can be friendships, it can be
Absolutely.
it's not just the fact of okay, celebrity relationships and their BS because they don't pay me to. I don't care. Like if that's what you want to do in your household, sweetie, swing
Well,
from
yeah,
the
but we're just using
chandeliers
them as
with.
a template for the topic of toxic relationships. Nobody cares about
Absolutely,
them.
absolutely. But no, what I'm just
Um,
saying, as far as like relationships, period, it's just it's more than that. You can have a friendship that's toxic.
absolutely.
You can have family members or people in your family that are toxic, where you just be like, okay, so you don't see none of that, huh? Oh, okay. You know what I mean? It's just anything can make any relationship toxic. It's not just that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Anything that's
It's not that.
considered
It's not just that.
anything that's considered a relationship, anything that ends with the word ship, if you ask me. Um, if there's no conversation with comprehension, if there's no respect, if there's no boundaries, if there's no discipline, anything can become toxic. This platform can become toxic if there's no respect, if there's no discipline. So when it's more than one, and you're trying to, and you got some kind of ship going on, and there's no respect of person, not even respect for, before you can even respect each other, you got to have respect for yourself.
That part.
You got to have respect for yourself. Otherwise, you lying to yourself. You are causing death because it's toxicity is capable of causing death. Okay, you're causing death to yourself, your mental, your psyche, your emotions. For what? For what? Believe it or not, we are the first partakers in everything, good and bad. So blaming somebody else, Are you checking you though?
9 times out of 10, no.
Jabel said anything with ship at the end can turn into shit if not addressed properly. Absolutely.
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 And so we are first partakers in that toxicity. So I mentioned the conversation that was on social media, and I actually responded to it. And you came on right when I was getting ready to get to the part of the response that was responded to my response. I know that's a tongue tie, right? So again, I told you I don't do the social media badgering back and forth, but I had to get in this one. I was told sometimes when you see a good fight, you got to jump in. So I felt it was a good fight, so I jumped in. Right? And I didn't disagree with the original statement because I saw the points that the actual author was making. However, I felt it was one-sided. She blamed everything on Dwayne. And I was like, no. I see that as being Whitney's fault because no marriage can take place if a woman says no. So Whitney made that choice to leave Byron at the altar and go after Dwayne, who she knew was a school teacher. She chose the school teacher as opposed to the senator, right? So someone responded to my post, right? And had a list of questions like the 10 commandments and labeled it as lessons learned. Now, mind you, this person was coming out of a marriage for quite some time. And so they learned all these lessons. So that's when I logged off because my response wasn't that I was going to be nasty, but I know my response would have triggered a lot. So I held my response for the platform for conversation because out of the lessons that was learned, that was posted, when did you learn these lessons? Because some of those lessons you could have learned about yourself, just like we was just talking about, before you went into the relationship or the marriage, what have you. So you denied so what makes a toxic relationship? Is it you denying yourself because you want what you want in spite of? Is it you ignoring the red flags of the person you want to be with because you want what you want? When learning life lessons, was it just lessons for you? It wasn't lessons for the two of y'all as one? Y'all couldn't have a conversation and work at, so you would not be on the outside of marriage now? You would still be married? It's so much because you learned all these lessons, but some of that could have been learned while you was in it. So when do you learn your lessons, I guess is my question. Because the first lesson should start with each individual. Like, case in point, I do not like smokers. This light is making me hot. I feel like I'm in a sauna. I do not like smokers. I'm not a smoker. I don't like smokers. But I met this guy. He's everything. But he smokes. but he's everything. But he smokes. So I'm gonna put up a front because I really want to be with this guy, but he smokes. And now a pack of cigarettes is $20. I don't know if y'all know that. Well, a pack of Newports is $20.
Where?
Here in New York, a pack of cigarettes, not the carton, one pack of Newport cigarettes, that green and white box with the blue letters, is $19.50. I saw it today.
Honey, I would have on about 8 patches a day if I smoked a cigarette. Ain't no
So,
way in these good
so,
green herbs.
so
Ain't no
I want to be
way.
with this guy because for me, he's everything, right? So now we done moved in together. So I'm trying to deal with the smoke. I got air fresheners everywhere. Now I find out that he got stinky feet. Now y'all know, if y'all know me, y'all know how I feel about hygiene. You know how I feel about my house. Now he got stinky feet. So now I'm 2 for 2. I'm like, okay, he smokes and he got stinky feet. But I'm going to convince
You
myself
better get
that,
you some Dove.
so now I'm going to convince myself that he's my everything. But how can he be my everything? He's already got strikes against him. So now I'm choosing not to talk to him about it because I don't want to hurt his feelings. And then I really want to be with this guy, right? So let's just say we dated, we got engaged, we got married. We 3 years in and I lose it. I can't deal with the smoke and the stinky feet. Now everything in here smells like chitlins. I can't do it. I'm choking, I'm gagging. I can't do it. I blow up. He responds to my blow up. So let's say now we're going back and forth for 6 months, right? Now the relationship is becoming toxic because now he's yelling at me, I'm yelling at him, da 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 da. Toxic relationship, right? Now it's toxic. Now the marriage is toxic, right? So now he's hanging out with the boys. He's not here anymore. I'm feeling neglected. I'm mad at him. I can't be mad at him. I knew I didn't like the cigarette smoke. I knew I didn't like the stinky feet. I should have addressed it. You learn your lessons when you allow yourself to be vulnerable and constructive. Yes, when you can share openly and lovingly, and then the necessary adjust. Yes, yes. Instead of me dealing with the cigarette smoke and the stinky feet,
you should have bought you some nicotine patches.
Babe, can we talk about this? Can we do a trial and error? Can we? Jamel said it best. Berta says that's the problem. If you're not able to communicate with the person about what you don't like, then you shouldn't be together. Right.
Right.
And this is why we date, to see how we can converse, see how we can talk to one another. Are you talking at me? Or are you talking with me? Because there is a difference.
A huge difference.
Not only can we talk to each other, but can you listen? Not hear me, because we've been blessed with our 5 senses. So I know you can hear me. But no, are you listening to
can
what
you
I'm
comprehend?
saying?
Can you
Can
comprehend?
you comprehend? Yes.
Can you comprehend? Because you can listen all you want to, but then if you take pieces of what I said, that's not what I said. Because you can listen and just hear certain points of what you want to hear, and then you go, but that's not how I said that, and that's not what I said. So you have to be able to comprehend. I think, some people, and I hate to say this, I really believe that some people, took those, you remember when we were in elementary and middle school, we had to take those, we had to read that long paragraph, right? And then we had to comprehend what the paragraph was saying.
We had to find the main idea.
We had to find the main idea out of this whole paragraph, and then you had to write your answer. I think a lot of people had skipped or failed, and they just pushed them along because there's no way that you could have gone through high school without comprehension. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. You were taught that. Comprehension was taught. That's literally a class. it was a class in language arts. I don't know what it's called now in school. I'm old, sorry about that. But in language arts, you are taught, they pick apart every single part. I mean, the subject, the verb, I mean, they literally pick apart doggone near each sentence for you to be able to comprehend what the writer is trying to say. So you're going to tell me that you got your good head diploma and you can't comprehend? There's something wrong with that. The school system has failed you because I'm sorry, it was a class. It was a whole class. And if you went to college, like me, like you had it in college. You even had to, psychology was actually a class you had to take.
This is
No
how they
matter
said it.
what your major was, your
This
major
is
could be
how they
math.
say it in
You
college.
had to take psychology.
Yeah. This is how they say it in college. Tell me the story
Right?
without telling me the
Be the
story.
story.
Baby. Because they want to know if you understand what you're reading.
Huh?
Can
Oh,
you can you
God.
see can you read or see what's not being said?
Hmm.
This is why
Oh,
I'm getting my BA in psychology today. Because I can hear, trust me, I can hear what's being said when it's not being said.
hmm. Mm. Okay.
Okay.
But 9 times out of 10, the answer is actually in the paragraph.
It's
So even
always in
if
the paragraph.
it's always in the paragraph, so you didn't read 55 sentences to be able to answer, and then they give you a time limit. So, see, this is my problem. If I'm having a 5 minute conversation with you and I'm telling you how I feel about something, why can't you comprehend it? You did you fail? Did you got so
Do you
did
want
somebody
to?
take the test? That
Or
part.
do you want to? Because earlier, I'm gonna put back up one of Jamel's responses. He wrote selfishness. I don't want to
Mm,
hear what you're saying to me
mm,
because it's about me at the end of the day.
mm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
And if you're selfish,
mm-hmm,
you
mm-hmm,
automatically you're bringing a
mm-hmm.
toxicity into the relationship.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Let's start there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Before we even start trying to talk and have a conversation and the comprehension, you're already selfish. You already got a
Mm.
preconceived notion of how this is going to play out. You already know in your
Mm.
mind you ain't changing. You already know in your mind
Mm.
it's either your way or no way.
Mm.
You already know this,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and you have sized me up
Mm-hmm.
and picked me as a
Mm-hmm.
candidate
Mm-hmm.
to be your puppet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But then I have to you also have to realize, and going back to anything ending with a ship, most of the time, us as parents, and I
Mm.
say us, I'm including myself,
Mm-hmm.
us as parents create children that are entitled or feel like they are entitled to certain things. So it creates a certain selfishness that they have.
Agreed.
It
Agreed.
creates that. Oh,
Agreed.
this is my only child. So you know what? He asked me for a Benz for his birthday, but I'm gonna go ahead and get him the Bentley because I'm just gonna go ahead. Why does your child at 16 need a Bentley? I'm just asking for a friend, and the friend is me. Because then what you create is you give them a false pretense of what the real world is actually like.
True. True. Not only that, that's
Because
one
they're
that's
not
one
going to coddle
concept.
you. They're not going to coddle you. And you are going to have this thing in your mind. And when you get into a relationship, see what people when you when you get into a relationship after creating this child who has this in their head, that everything is mine and I get whatever I want because daddy and mommy gave me whatever I want. Now you in this relationship and now you think that, oh, your husband is, I don't, honey, we need to pay the mortgage and we need to, no, we need to go to Dubai. Okay, honey, if we go to Dubai, then we won't be able to pay the mortgage. So we need to stay home and, we need to do something. Nope, I want to go to Dubai. Well, who really created that problem? The parent did.
That is definitely one concept. The other concept about parent-child ratio or parent-child relationship, I should say, is you want to give your child what you felt you didn't get
Get
when you was
yourself.
growing up.
Mm-hmm.
So if
Mm-hmm.
you felt
Mm-hmm.
like you should have had some Pumas and you had Alexanders or you had Buster Browns, then you
Not
want to give
okay.
your child Pumas and
Don't do
Nikes
that to the
and
Buster Brown now,
and
cause the Buster
Uggs
Brown back in the
and
day.
honey, listen.
Mm-mm.
So
Don't do that.
you try to create a better lifestyle for your child because you didn't have the stuff that you wanted when you go, which is not a bad thing, but you gotta have boundaries and discipline and teach your child that you gotta earn it. Because just like you were saying, you create a sense of entitlement and then they ain't gonna want to work
And your
for it. They're
child
gonna
is
feel like you should
toxic.
just give it to them.
Mm-hmm. And you created that toxic child.
Wait, Jamel says the way relationships live to be great is when we learn to take care of one another. But when I see that you aren't handling the responsibility of taking care of me, I will relieve you of that responsibility because care is always in need. If you want, if you won't, then I will. So I'll express it a few times, then I'll do what's necessary to make sure I'm good. This is one way selfishness slips in. Yeah. And then it
Yes.
becomes, don't worry about it. I got you. I got
I
it.
got it. Mm-hmm.
I got it.
Mm-hmm. Don't worry, I got it.
Don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
I got it. And then the
Mm-hmm.
relationship, which started off good, so we thought,
So we
because
thought.
and this is my question. So if a relationship starts out good, and then all of a sudden can flip on a dime, was it really good or was it just false pretense until you get what you want? So did it start out toxic or did it become toxic?
Mm.
Because if I'm not, no, definitely no girl on girl action right here. But if I see you and I see you got a Range Rover, right? And I see you fly, your hair is done, hair down your back, your nails are done, you got on your Tiffany glasses, you driving a Range Rover, and I'm like, oh, I want that. Do I want you or do I want what you have on display?
Mm.
So I'm gonna put gas in your truck, and I'm gonna make sure your nails are done, and I'm gonna make sure your hair is done, because I want to be a part of your world. I want not a part of you, but a part of your world. I want the
Mm-hmm.
luxury. I want the glam. I want the glitz. I don't want you.
Right.
So now 6 months in, I'm not I'm not feeling the reciprocity. Like
Mm-hmm.
she ain't buy me my Tiffany glasses yet. Well, I don't have my Tiffany glasses yet. So now I'm barking at you. I'm yelling at you. I'm picking fights with you, and now the relationship is toxic. Unless there's no
At
respect
any
and
given time,
conversation. Yeah.
at any
So
given time, a relationship can become toxic. At any given time, it's
with the
not.
wrong motives, because my motives of being with you was absolutely wrong. So it
But
didn't
even
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 become.
sometimes even sometimes with good motives, your relationship can turn toxic because we change. We change. The problem, I think, the issue for me is we change the older we get. What I did at 20, I didn't do at 30. And what I did at 30, I didn't do at 40. And what I did at 40, I don't do today. So,
And that's fair.
so with the changes, the in the beginning, what I tolerated at 20, We had good intentions because we was both on the same page. We was both doing well. We was both doing the thing. But then at 30, I decided, oh, I want a little bit more. You still at the 20 stage, even though you 30. So we had good intentions in the beginning. In the beginning, it wasn't all it didn't start out as, oh, I want what you have. No, we was in this together. We good. But when you start to change and you want better for yourself, or you want better for your life, or you I don't always want to live in the projects and pay $5 for rent, but that's what you want to do. You want to stay and live in a I don't want to do that. I don't want to go to sleep to gunshots every night. It was cute at 19, but it's not cute at 40. Like, at what point does a relationship become toxic? Because it can start off very much so on the up and up.
Agreed.
I just have evolved, and you still want to pay $5 for the rent and get the heat for free when it come on at October 15th, because you know they in New York, the honey, they get heat October 15th.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
the
definitely
heat
on.
is on. That heat come on. So it's like, I don't want to pay for this. I don't want to pay for that. I don't want to pay for this. So you know what? I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna live here for the rest of my life because my rent $5. And but at what point do you get tired of smelling urine in the elevator?
So
You
how do
got
we fix
tired.
that? So how do we fix that so the relationship does not become toxic?
That's one you can't fix. That
Why
is a
not?
relation. You can't, because unless the other person is willing to change and say, you know what, I want better for myself too. I want to do something better also. But if they see nothing wrong with urine in the elevator, and they see nothing wrong with the elevator breaking down every other day, and they carrying their groceries up 12 flights of stairs with Pookie and Trey playing dice on the fifth floor, and then you got um Carl and somebody else doing, whatever on the ninth floor, and you all right with passing all of that, that's on you, boo. I'm not doing it. I'm not ever coming to see you. Don't think I am. Because I have come to a point in my life where I want better. I want more. So it's never going to, the relationship is never going to change until they change. And if they don't want to change, then that relationship is done. But that doesn't mean that in the beginning it wasn't pure. It doesn't
I
mean that in
understand.
the
I
beginning
get
it
that.
was not pure. Think about what we did when we was teenagers and when we were in our 20s.
I get that.
So it doesn't mean that it wasn't pure. It just means that I grew up. Well, I don't want to say it that way. I matured. You grew up because you grew up in age. But I matured. Your
And
age
there's
is
definitely a difference between growth. I
And there's
mean,
a
age and
very
maturity.
there's a really big difference between maturing and aging.
Yes.
Because at what point do you say to yourself, you know what, I'm really tired? Like, if you 50, I mean, you know what? Because if I went back home right now to my mother, I would be going back home, God forbid, if something happened to her and I would need to be back in New York, and I would live in my mother's house. But at my age right now, she's good, and there's no reason for me to be home on my mother's couch with my kids. There's no reason. I am an able body where I can work. I'm an able body. So if other people feel like it's okay at 50 to be on your mother couch just because today's Sunday, then I mean, that's on you. But I have come to a place in my life where I want better. I want more. So that's when the relation becomes toxic, because I'm trying to express to you, oh, I'm doing this about school. Oh my God, this schoolwork is done, and I'm doing this. And you know what? Oh my God, I got a raise at my job. How am I going to talk to you about work if we come home and you and I both come home? We coming home from work. We're exchanging stories about work. What you going to tell me? What happened on General Hospital? And not because you DVR'd it, but because you was actually home watching General Hospital. I mean, that's not. That's. I mean, so that is
Smoking
when
cigarettes and you still got stinky feet.
we are not the same. We
We're
are
not the
not. We
same.
are not the same. We're not the same. I'm not. There is no way. There's no way.
Jamel,
They
let me read what Jamel said. Jamel
okay.
says relationships have definitely become transactional rather than relational. Yep.
Absolutely.
He also said relationships become toxic when mouths go shut and feelings unexpressed, or when
Mm.
adjustments aren't made when things have been expressed. We must grow together. Growing together provides the necessary support for heavy times.
And that's the
Agreed.
issue.
And this
Some
is what I
people
wanted
do
to
not
ask
want to
you with your
grow.
scenario, Janine, because I understand your scenario because we all do not evolve at the same time. But if we're in a
We don't.
relationship, if we're in a relationship, somewhere in there we had to have had a conversation about goals and dreams and visions and how we're gonna get there and what we're doing. Because
Right.
otherwise, this is in a relationship. We just screwing. We just eating and screwing and eating.
Mm-mm.
Because in the
But you not
relationship, there
you
should
you
be
you
some
not
kind
about
of
to be on my
evolve.
couch.
There
You're
should
not
be
about
some
to be
kind of
on my couch.
evolvement in
No.
place
You're not about to be
together
on my
as a
couch
unit,
and
not
I'm at
me,
work.
not me.
Mm-mm.
Because if you evolve and I don't evolve, then that's us going against each other, and that's what relationships are not about.
Right. And that's when it becomes toxic. But when we started, it wasn't toxic because we were both on the same page, we were both doing the same thing. We were both doing the same thing. And but when I got 30 or 40, I'm like, no, because anybody who knows me knows what I do, what I have done for my kids. I would move in the middle of a school year if the lines in North Carolina changed and my kid was going to have to go to schools. No offense to anybody with Pookie in them. I didn't move out here for my kids to have to deal with bullying and being, seeing Trey and them and them. My daughter talks very intellectual and very. She's 10, but have a conversation with her. So
That's my girl.
you cannot. It's just for me. We have to be going somewhere together. We have to have some. I'm not. I'm too old. I'm too old now. If I have to sleep on a couch for a month or two or three to get my life together, then yes. But if
Absolutely.
I'm if I'm making if I got to sleep on your couch on January, February, and March, and then I'm out April, May, June, but then I'm back July, August, and September, and then I'm back November, December, and January, and then I'm like, Dag, Reese, I gotta come back. I hate to put this on you. You gonna be like, what the? I mean, you gonna be like, what's going on? That's when we start arguing. That's when the arguments start. Because it's like, okay, what are you doing to prevent you being on my couch for 6 months out of the year? Because 6 months out the year, you here on my couch. That's when the friendship starts to, and why you talking to me like this? I need you right now, and I need you to I need you to get a job, sweetie. I need you to get a job. I'm just saying. It's just not a it's all ships. It's all ships. All ships. And some people's ships have sailed. Praise the Lord.
and some.
And you just have to deal. Okay, and you just have to deal with it.
So at the end of the day, you got to do what's best for you.
That part.
You got to do what's best for you. You know, um, and it was just even a couple of years ago. I just found out that the Titanic was not the actual ship that sunk. It was another boat. So it just goes to show you that all ships can lie.
That part.
Lie, because it wasn't the Titanic that sunk. It was another boat. But that's a whole nother platform. So, toxic relationships become toxic. I think they become toxic with when you have hidden motives, hidden agendas.
I think it's more than that.
No, I don't. I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm just saying, because everybody's like, "Oh, the relationship," and I'm like, "But no, it's what you bring to it. It's what you choose to accept. It's hidden motives. Like I chose to put up with the cigarette smoking and the stinky feet. That was my choice. Whitley decided she chose Dwayne over Byron. You know, Jada and Will, they chose to have an open marriage. So, like,
Which is crazy.
were you ever really married? Like, so when you said "I do," did everybody stand up and say "I do" and you got a ring from everybody? Like, what is an open marriage? Like, I don't
But
understand.
the open now, see, the thing about the open marriages, they make it so right now that is the thing to do to spice up, quote unquote, spice up the relationship, the marriage, so you're not just with one person for the rest of your life, even though that's what marriage is. That is now the quote unquote thing to do is to have an open marriage. Is to get married,
Open
but
marriage for
then
me.
in 5 years, all right, well, you can't lift up this leg anymore. So what I'm gonna do is we gonna bring Julie in because she could, she a little bit younger and she could lift up the leg. You feel me? Like it's that open marriage thing is so common, unfortunately.
I think an open marriage is just another way to support your lack of discipline and to cover all your lies.
But you don't have to lie in an open marriage. Yo, I'm going to John house
Exactly.
tonight.
Exactly.
You don't have to lie.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what
You do not.
exactly. But then you
Hun,
got
I'm going to
rules. But then
John's house.
even
I'm
in
on
the
the
open
way.
marriage, even in you got rules.
Absolutely.
You got
And
rules.
y'all,
So
but
how
y'all
open
too set those rules.
so how open are you really? Either you're gonna do it all or you're not gonna do none of it. Because if I'm open, I'm out.
Okay, good night.
If I'm open,
Uh,
because people don't want to do marriage because you feel like you got to stay with that one person. You may not stay with that one person in your open marriage, but you still can't cross no lines.
Right. Right.
There was a movie on BET, and then we're gonna shut it down. There was a movie on BET, but the same scenario, open marriage, whatever, whatever. Let's try it to see how we like it. The rules were you couldn't date, you couldn't date someone that you already knew, like an ex. You couldn't go back to an ex,
Right.
and you definitely couldn't
I
have
think
sex.
that's a regular. Oh,
Yeah, and you couldn't have sex with them. So what are we open for? What are we doing? What is the purpose? Like,
mm.
so it's good.
That's a good topic for the next one because maybe
What are we doing?
open marriages unfortunately are so common. They're more common than regular marriage, which is really sad.
Really, really sad. But that's pretty much our time. Everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the comments and the conversation. You
And
guys,
maybe before 2024, we gonna get this login together. I believe that for 2024, we gonna get this login together because I
it's
hate
on.
being late.
It's more. I think it's you because you
But
did
I
very
can be
well. You did
anywhere.
very well last week. You was able to see comments and everything. So, because you were, so it got to be your location because you was in a house last week. and you were fine. I mean, not last week, last month, and you were fine.
So maybe I have to be under Wi-Fi for it to work correctly.
Yeah, because you're in the car in the dark under a street light right now.
No,
So,
but yeah, but I have like one, two, three, four, five, six, 5 bars. So it's like it should have no problem. I pay enough for this doggone for
honey, here, listen, you do,
uh,
idiot, you do, because I ain't doing it. So, but when you was in the house last month, you was able to see everything. I was able to see you. You was able
I
to see
also
me.
didn't have, well, I don't know because they saying that this phone has a lot of bugs or whatever. I don't know because it was happening before then. Because
And you
I
can
got the
share it to, and
15.
you can share it to your page now. I told you that. So,
I don't know what it, I don't
um,
know.
so we'll finish that discussion off the page. Again, thank you for tuning in with Chit Chat with Cherise 2.0, concluding my co-host Janine. We was talking about toxic relationships. To each its own.
God bless
Um,
you. May heaven smile upon
Bless
you.
you. As for me and my house, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna work it out, or we're gonna walk away. But we're not gonna stay in something that's toxic because it's capable of causing death, and I'm not letting nothing kill me, not even me. So that's where we at with it. So until next month, stay on the lookout. Please don't just like the pages, but follow the pages so y'all can get our notifications. Chit Chat with Cherise airs the first of every month. We're here tonight because I had a work emergency yesterday, so thank y'all for still tuning in. If you missed the live, you can always catch the replay, and you can definitely find us on YouTube. So until next month, y'all stay safe and stay encouraged. Good night. Bye bye.